To the casual observer, Montreal is a charming island metropolis graced by its verdant mountain and large parks dotted east and west. The reality is different. Shocking satellite images produced by the former Montreal urban community in July 1988 showed that the depletion of the vegetation cover on Montreal's territory had even then reached and passed the critical point. In 2011, we can read that barely 3.3% of Montreal's territory is protected natural green space, compared to the international and Quebec norm of 8%. In other words, only 6% of Montreal's surface area is considered to be green space, and of that, only half is protected. Green space biomass serves to counterbalance the effects of urban pollution on air, water, and soil. It can also provide recreational potential for the physical and mental well-being of citizens.
The conflict here is that people are divided between wanting to preserve this green space in a city, Lachine, where residents have little access to nature, and on the other side, wanting to develop a new residential community that will be built with the least environmental impact and leave a small footprint. This piece of land is owned privately by a group called Groupe Pacific. The group fighting to preserve Meadowbrook is Les Amis de Meadowbrook. They fear losing this green space and are putting pressure on municipal officials to get involved.
Vocal, passionate citizens have been defending this site since 1989. Their mission is to protect Meadowbrook from development and transform it into a new 57-hectare nature park, open and accessible to all Montreal Islanders. It's also great to know that their mission is supported by the David Suzuki Foundation and Greenpeace, as well as other organizations around Montreal.
When regarding this controversy, it is important to understand that Meadowbrook is a private property. Still, many argue that the city should buy it and recondition it. However, Chris Adams stays realistic by saying,
it's not so much even buying the property to make a park. Who's going to manage the park? The city doesn't have money. In the real world, the way I see it happening is through this development. We live in an urban center, and we need models of the way to construct. We need good sustainable models.
Now, at first glance, a golf course seems more environmentally friendly than any kind of construction. But when we stop and analyze the different aspects of such land use, we start questioning ourselves.
More animals, in fact, will be on that property after this development than now.
Because they can't even be on the green grass. Because they can't be like on the field.
Right now, they're in the little borders. They're the border of all the green. The golf course itself is cut grass, which is cut every day, the greens. Many animals are getting killed every day by the machinery. Right now you've got 200 and 250 members of a golf course that can use this entire space and no one else can.
Again, some might think that a golf course is more sustainable than a constructing plan. Well, what kind of construction are we talking about in the Meadowbrook case?
We've reconditioned 52% of it into parkland, gardens, 2 marshlands that would actually clean the water, giving some of the space to non-profit groups, research groups, local markets so you could walk and get your food, develop a train station so people wouldn't need a car. The roads are designed for people first, not buses and cars. Everybody would have a view of the outdoors. I mean, there are 10 basic principles that they're building this development on called One Planet Living. The entire construction would be made as if there's only one planet, whereas construction that we're used to, in fact the very homes that we live in, the way they're built, you know, if we continued this way, we would need 2.5 planets.
After investigating both sides of the Meadowbrook case, we have come to the conclusion that not everything is black and white.
After having understood that the government cannot afford buying and taking care of the green space, and that the owner of a private property can do literally what he wants with that property, we have understood that our options are pretty limited.
And since the new developer has such a good and sustainable plan for developing Meadowbrook, we have decided that we would support their plan.
chocolate. Eating chocolate. You want it, eh? You want this chocolate.